whether or not it's entirely legitimate.
Right.
And so that often is what people take away with them.
We used, what was the thing about, this is years, my favorite, because, I learned how to write fiction, writing monologue jokes, because sometimes you want to take something, take this much truth and go this way, and the thing I always talk about is, well, Hillary Clinton's going to jail, and it's like, no, she isn't.
Yes, sir?
I was always curious, with all the skits that you do, how do you stay creative?
We gave that up years ago. We're not troubled by that anymore.
Is it 1997 already?
It's impossible to. It's just every day. Every day is the best compromise you can make. Some days things are great. Everything's great. The guests are great. The material is great. Some days everything's not so good, but you just got to keep going. It's like Bill mentioned earlier, it's like turning around a newspaper. And you just hope that at the end of the year, the highs and the lows pretty much even out, and people will give you the benefit of the doubt. But maybe somebody else who has a show knows something that I don't, but it really is a daily job. We're loading trucks every day. And sometimes the creativity is a little dim, sometimes it shines brightly.
Right. You're making mounds and mounds of coleslaw is what you're trying to do, and ideally you get the best parts of that, but that's what you're trying to do.
How do you guys normally write the show? Like, are you bouncing ideas off of each other, reading a piece of paper, getting your stuff? I found that writing comedy is really hard.
Take a bow.
I find it rather easy. That is one of the great misconceptions is writers around a table, yelling at each other and, picking up a stapler and going, hello, the table thing, they do that on sitcoms because they have a script and they go line by line, but with because we have to generate so much material, and it's just better that most writers work individually. Some writers work in pairs, and you'll only find us all in the room together when it's a crisis situation, when we need to pay something off. But you can if you have 5 people in 5 different rooms, you're ideally going to generate 5 times more material than 5 people in one room. And that's what it's a volume business. It's a volume business.
Yeah, I can't speak to like a weekly show. I've never really worked on a weekly show. It may be a little different. I don't know that it's any easier, but I think it might be a little different. And in terms of what we do, the hours are miserable. People who work there, Barbara is there. We usually get out of it at 10 at night.
I'd say an average 10 to 10 is
and Bill and the writers would be there sometimes later. So, if they didn't get paid, it really would. Kind of thing that Amnesty International would shut down.
Man with glasses.
Throughout the history of your show, you've done a lot of sketches that feature production people on the show, like stage hands or building. When you first started doing those types of sketches, did you just think it was something that would be funny, or did you make a conscious decision that you kind of want to give some screen time to people who are essential to the show but wouldn't ordinarily be on here?
Well, this is something that goes way back to the very beginning, actually, the daytime show, and I guess it was born, but pretty quickly became sort of a concept for us that we just liked having our friends on the show, and many of them very sweet, very engaging, and very funny, and it's something that has just continued. And I don't know whether it's just our production or maybe every show or just people generally, but we've had really good luck using people on the staff. Yeah, very good, and have created very strong followings, I think, also, right. And recognizable, and it's been really good for us. And then also, I think the truth of it is we have better luck with these folks than we do if we cast an actor in something. because an actor will come in and start acting for you. You don't want to be anywhere near that. So it's just something that evolved early on, but it was purpose. We hoped for it and designed it and went after it in the beginning.
Yeah, there's a real sweetness to it. There's a real humility to it, and it's great to see. And also, it's kind of an unexpected boost to morale because, all of a sudden, the creepy intern, gets in a little bit, and that's just fine, right? You can't get enough of that.
All right, so time for one more.
All right, sir.
All the way in the back.
A lot of pressure on this final question. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Peggy Fight, and I'm the president of the Residents Association, and I'm also a journalism major. That's really how we define ourselves right now. We're always asked what we want to do after we graduate or go into second grade. Do you guys know exactly where you were headed, and as your jobs now as the final product of that, or was it just kind of a progression through different careers?
Know where you were headed?
Yeah, I knew before I came here, and was able to when I worked here. I worked at the WBST, and then I also worked at a station in Elwood, and then I also worked at a station WERK for a short time, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I've been so lucky in that regard, and then was able to figure out, as I mentioned earlier, through some very nice people to do what I wanted to do. And halfway through my college life, I ended up working at a television station in Indianapolis, and I worked there throughout college in the summer, and then worked there for 4 or 5 years after college. So yes, I did know and was able to pursue it and feel like, how many people do you know who don't know what they want to do? And you run into these people in their 30s and even in their 40s, and I feel so bad for those people because everybody in this room knows exactly what we want to do, and it's a real blessing, by God.
Yeah, definitely.
Most writers in television want to be producers because that is a more powerful and influential position, and you make more decisions that impact you. I'm either unique or stupid. I wanted no part of that. I just wanted to be in a room writing, because to me that was real, and that was that impacted me. And I don't know if what I do is important, but it feels important to me. So I'm doing what I want to do.
Was this a gathering duller than you thought it was going to be? Or about as dull as you thought it was going to